Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea and today we are going to do a full face of first impressions. So everything I'm going to try today on my face is brand new to me. So let's just dive right in. So I'm going to start with my brows first. And for brow pencil, we're going to use this Covergirl Easy Breezy Brow Microfine and Define Pencil. And I got the shade Rich Brown. I feel like my brows have been a little bit of a sore spot for me lately. I keep changing up the way that I'm doing them, and no brow gel I ever use is holding my hairs up. So they look great when I do them, and then throughout the day they just end up looking bad. So let's see if this works well. So this is quite pigmented. It seems like it's gliding on my skin pretty well. And that filled them in pretty quickly. I'm just gonna brush this through real quick. That looks pretty nice. Okay. This pencil had really good reviews, that's why I picked it up. If I seem a little off in this video, I'm trying to get rid of a migraine, so bear with me. That's nice. I like that a lot. So now let's move on to brow gel. I'm gonna use this Mellow Cosmetics Tinted Brow Gel in the shade Dark Brown. This wand is huge for a brow gel, so I'm gonna have to be quite careful. I feel like I have pretty big brows, and this wand seems really big even for my brows. Oh, and I'm getting it on my skin, which is why smaller wands are better. I'm glad I'm doing my brows first today, so that didn't get on my foundation. And it's doing it again on this side. Wow. That is not cool. Okay, so I already don't like this because of how big the wand is. I don't even care if the product is good. That just messed up the front of my brows and took forever to fix on both sides. And I feel like the front of my brows look really dark now, and I normally don't go for that look. I feel like I look like I have block brows. It also seems like my hairs are not staying in place already, like it's not doing anything to hold my hairs up. So this is a no for me. I think I like the pencil though. I'll have to continue trying that out and see if I keep liking it. So let's move on to primer. Like I've said in the past, I typically use two primers, a more hydrating one and then also a blurring or pore filling in the center of my face. So we're gonna do that same thing today. So for moisturizing, I'm gonna go in with this Coconut Skin Smoothing Primer from First Aid Beauty. I've had this little sample size in my collection for quite a long time, and I've been scared to use it because it has coconut oil? No. Coconut water maybe in it? Coconut fruit juice and coconut fruit extract. But I've realized from watching Mel Thompson, she has issues. This smells good. She breaks out from anything that has coconut extracts in it or forms of coconut. And a lot of things that she has said have coconut in them, I use and my skin doesn't react to them. So, and I keep forgetting that the Too Faced Born This Way line has coconut water in it, and that's one of my favorite foundations ever. So that feels really nice and hydrating. It even looks like it gave a little bit of a glow. I think I have like a little bit of a sheen on my fingers from it. So I'm excited about that. So for the pore filling primer, we're going to use the one from The Ordinary. It's the High-Adherence Silicone Primer. And I've heard really good things about this. I've also had this in my collection for a super long time and I've never used it. Recently I've seen Kelly Gooch talk about this and say it's like the best pore filling primer. So typically I just take my pore filling primers on the sides of my nose right here where I have my pores the largest, on my nose, and then my forehead, and then right here, because I tend to get oily here. And then I also have some smile lines, so I try to use that to fill them in a little bit. That feels nice. It feels a little more like it came out really thick in my fingers, but it felt a little bit more runny when I was putting it on my face. Like it went a long way. It's interesting. It looks like these two primers might not be a great match together. I'm getting a little bit of peeling. Maybe I used too much of one of them. But I'm getting a little bit of peeling on my cheeks from where they kind of blended together. Hopefully the foundation sits okay on top of it. So today for foundation, I'm going to use this Pericone MD No Makeup Foundation. So to apply this, I'm going to use my Tati Beauty sponge or puff. This is my favorite new foundation application. I just swipe it on and then just pat over. I bought this because Jessica Braun used it in a video where she copied Hilary Duff's makeup tutorial, like her Vogue makeup tutorial. And she loved it and it looked stunning on both of them. And then there's a subscription box that I get called BoxyCharm, and they had this on sale in one of their, I think it was Boxy Pop-Up. And I was like, it was like $12 and it's normally like a $60 foundation. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get that. But I got my winter shade and I just added a couple of bronzing drops to that and it still looks kind of light. My shade is Ivory. So it is a little bit light on me right now. This is definitely more of my winter shade. We'll just bronze heavily today to make up for it. So for concealer, we're going to use this e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I hated the matte one. It was the worst concealer I've ever used in my life on my face. I have super dry under eyes, so anything super matte is not great for me. So I've heard that this is super similar to the other formula. Like there's not much of a difference. Hopefully my under eyes don't look really dry today. I'm going to use the Tati Beauty sponge for this. Actually, I'm not. I have brushes to test out too. So that blended out really fast. That's looking quite nice. What do you guys think? So I'm gonna jump to eyes now so that I can match my blush and stuff to whatever I end up doing on the eyes. So to prime the eyelids, I'm gonna use this pretty Vulgar eyeshadow primer. I'm just taking this Tarte brush that I got in a Christmas set a while ago, like a long time ago. That looks nice. I have super oily eyelids, so not very many eyeshadow primers work for me. The only one that I love is the NARS smudge proof one. I tried their tinted version that is a more recent release, and I didn't love the tinted one. I have to use the clear one. So that's literally the only thing that keeps my eyelids from creasing, and then for some reason, Tarte Shape Tape. I know concealer is not always great to use on your eyelids. This feels sticky. Oh. Maybe this is gonna be good. Okay. I'm gonna use that same Mykitco brush, the other one that I got. And I'm gonna go into the powder that we're using today. It's the Ciate London Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. And I'm just gonna set my lids. That primer feels weird, like tight almost, or like it's not really sticky anymore because I set it with the powder. I don't know what it is. So today's star of the show is the Pat McGrath Mothership 8 Divine Rose 2. I've played with this a little bit again when I was taking my makeup off, but I haven't actually used this yet. So I'm super excited. So I'm gonna start with this Mykitco 1.27S brush. It's called the My Soft Blender. And I'm gonna go in with this peach shade to start with. I'm just gonna do windshield wiper motions in my crease. I'm digging this brush already. Super nice. It's very, very soft too. And this eyeshadow is blending out. I just got way too much on my brush. This eyeshadow is blending out super fast and easily. I love the Pat McGrath shimmer shades, but the matte shades in my other Pat McGrath palette, the Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction, I feel like they're a little patchy, and I feel like nobody else says that, but especially the darker shade in there, it's like a darker cool tone purple. I just feel like it doesn't blend for me, and maybe I'm using the wrong brushes or something, but the mattes are not my favorite in that palette. This is working much nicer. Now I'm gonna take this clean Morphe M532 brush and just blend that out. Has nothing on it. Ooh. So I was touching my brow a little bit, and some of this brow product was coming off. I don't know if that's from the pencil or the brow gel, but that's not cool. So I'm gonna take the same brush and dip into this burgundy shade. And we're gonna put that on the outer corner and then run it through the crease a little bit. Oh, wow. This shade is so beautiful. I'm gonna go in with this other Mykitco brush. It's a 1.14 My Detailing Crease. And I'm just gonna run that through the crease. I feel like that's looking a little patchy. I'm gonna dip into the peach shade again, kind of blend that out. I'm gonna go back into this 1.27S brush and add a little bit more of the burgundy. I really wanted this to be a little more diffused. There we go. Much better. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that blend. I feel like it was a little patchy in there with that darker shade, but I think we got there to where it looks pretty good. I'm telling you, for some reason, Pat McGrath mattes for me are not the easiest to blend, and it makes me sad, but I don't really buy her palettes for the mattes. I buy it for all of the cool shimmer shades. So it is what it is. I prefer Natasha Denona mattes, and I've said that before. So I don't think that I can dive into this palette for the first time without using this beautiful Trio Chrome, I think is what she calls it. I think the shade is called Sextraterrestrial. So we're gonna go in with that on the lid. I typically always put shimmery shades on with my finger because it gives them the most intensity. That's also why I use the glitter glue, because I want something super intense. If that's not what you're looking for, then skip the glitter glue and skip the using your finger and use a brush instead. That's just my preferred method. This shade truly is stunning. So for the inner corner, I'm going to go in a little bit with this pink shade and then go in with this more glittery shade on top of it. I'm going to take my Sephora Pro Flat Concealer Brush in number 76. If this is discontinued, I'm sorry. This is my favorite brush for the inner corner. That pink shade is pretty, but it's not super brightening on the inner corner. I'm going to try to use my finger with this more champagne shade. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to take this Mykitco Pro 1.14 My Detailing Crease Brush. And then I'm going to dive into this shade first, and then this shade right here. I'm kind of dragging that out. We're still using the dark shade to kind of make a little bit of a V right here. Just a very subtle V. So I'm going to take that same Mykitco brush and I'm going to go into that second shade. We're just going to run over that. And this one I'm going to take all the way into the inner corner. So for highlighting the brow bone in the inner corner, I'm going to go into this Blush and Shine kit. I don't know how to say this brand name. I got this in a BoxyCharm as well. This was one of my choice items. I was super excited to pick it. I love blush and highlighter palettes. I'm going to go back in with that Sephora brush. And I'm just taking this shade called Lights, this pinky shade. I'm going to take that Morphe blending brush again and just run over that. So for mascara, I'm going to use a new waterproof mascara I've never tried before. It's the Lancôme Monsieur. The regular version of this is super popular. I think I bought it once when it was on sale, and I did not like the non-waterproof version. So we're gonna try out this waterproof version. Hopefully it's good. Last time I tried out a new waterproof mascara, it didn't work very well. My lashes did not look good. It was that Lash Princess one, so I haven't used that again because I'm scared. So I'm just gonna curl my lashes. Okay, so far I actually really like that. It's giving me some length and some volume. We're gonna try a different mascara on top of it too that's non-waterproof because that's my normal, but it looks pretty good. So for the second mascara, we have something super exciting. BoxyCharm is doing this fun thing. It's called Mystery Mascara. I got this box in the mail yesterday, and they sent some subscribers a mystery mascara. So I'm super digging this combo. I feel like my lashes look great. They look long and fluffy. I definitely am digging this Monsieur Big mascara. I'm typically a drugstore mascara girl, so this is a high-end combo. But it dried pretty well to where I could throw on another coat of this and it not take me like 5 coats to get it where I want it. I am obsessed with this combo, so hopefully this goes well. I'm going to keep using it and I'll update you guys with whether I continue to like it or not. So now it's time to move on to blush, bronzer, and highlight. I'm going to start with blush first, and I'm going to use the new Patrick Ta Cream and Powder Blush Duo. And this is in the shade She's So LA. Patrick Ta said to apply the powder first and then the cream on top. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do the cream first, but just know that you can do either if you have this product. So for the cream side, I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild brush. I use this a lot for cream, blush, and bronzer. It came in a holiday set, I think, so I don't think it's a permanent brush. So I'm just dipping into the cream. And then I'm going to pat this on the cheeks so that I'm not picking up my foundation. This color is really nice. It's like a bronzy, rosy shade. And I'm tapping that on my apples and then bringing it all the way back to my hairline and just a little bit upwards. So now I'm gonna dip into the powder and I'm gonna take my Japanesque brush. I believe this is called the blush brush. Ooh, this is definitely more powdery than his original blush formula. I'm getting quite a bit of kickback, whereas the last blush formula I tried from him, I could barely get any product to come up. So I'm just tapping off the excess and I'm gonna slowly pat and sweep that on top. Okay, so let's move on to bronzer. I've got 2 of these Wonder Beauty Trip for 2 blush and bronzer duos. So one is a lighter shade and one is a darker shade. And I'm going to start with the lighter shade, but I'm pretty sure this is really light and I'm going to end up dipping into the darker one as well. So I'm just going to start with my Real Techniques multitask brush. And again, I'm just patting. And I don't contour all the time, but I do try to keep my bronzer above this contour line so that I kind of get the effect, but without actually contouring. And I always use a lot of bronzer, but I'm gonna use quite a bit of bronzer today because we're looking really pale. And I did have a couple of blemishes up here, so I'm just patting as well on my forehead. Whereas when I don't have blemishes, I'm typically sweeping in like this, but tapping on the product again because we didn't put powder on top. Since we're super pale today, I'm gonna take this lighter bronzer as well, and I'm just gonna go a little bit on the lower part of the cheek just to warm things up a little bit since this foundation shade is quite light. And then I'm also gonna go on the chin. And then I always go on my nose. I don't ever contour my nose. I like the shape of my nose, so I don't feel the need to. But I feel like it looks super weird and stark when I don't put anything on there, and I like that sun-kissed look, so I'm okay with the bronzer on the nose. A lot of people don't like it. That's their prerogative. So now I'm going to take another Wet n Wild brush. This is from that same set that I spoke about earlier. And I'm going to dive into this lighter shade, and I'm going to bronze up my neck so that it matches my chest. So I'm just going to take the lightest touch of this darker shade of bronzer back with the Real Techniques brush and just add a smidge. Bronzer and blush are the first things to go on me, so I typically add quite a bit of bronzer so that as it fades, it just looks like more of a normal amount. That's just my personal preference. I do also like to look tan, so, you know, even when I'm my palest pale, packing on the bronzer. So I'm actually gonna do powder before highlight today. We're gonna go back into that Ciate London Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder that we used to set the eyeshadow primer. This powder seems really finely milled. So I'm going to use another of the new Mykitco brushes that I got, and this is the 1.7 My Ultra Multi. And I just dipped it in the powder, and I'm tapping off all the excess, and I'm going to go in and... This is really great for precision powdering. I also got 2 of this brush because this is also really good supposedly for highlighting. If you don't love to powder your face and you just like powdering little tiny places, this brush is great. And then you can dust it as well. I did notice earlier with this foundation, it might be partially the concealer because I put some here as well. I already have some creasing in my smile lines over here. I'm just gonna pat that out real quick. This concealer foundation combo is not looking great on my chin today. So I'll definitely have to use them separately with things that I love and see which one is causing the issues. So I did get some acne from my full face of nothing new, my Shop My Stash video, and I still have some spots that are healing from that, and this foundation is not looking great on top of those spots. So just FYI, if you have acne, this might not be a great foundation for you. I'm just sweeping this a little bit on the under eye. I think I like this powder quite a bit. Super finely milled, blurred everything out. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I don't have any fallout from that eyeshadow palette, which is great. It does look like my brow hairs are falling, but it doesn't look as bad since that pencil filled them in quite nicely. So for highlighter, I'm gonna go back into that pink shade that we used earlier on the inner corner. It's called Lights. So for the brush, I'm gonna use the Mykitco 1.7, the My Ultra Multi, same one we used for powder. But I bought 2 of these specifically so that I could use one for highlighter and one for powder. This highlighter looks nice. It's a little bit softer, which is fine. Just depends on what you personally like. So I forgot we actually have a contour palette to try. This is the Too Faced Coco Contour. And this is what it looks like. And it smells like chocolate. So I'm gonna take this, I've never used this brush before. I'm gonna take this Luxie 680 Pro Precision Face. It looks like this. And I'm just gonna take this light contour shade right here. And I'm just gonna do a tiny, tiny bit on my cheekbones. That's nice. I've heard great things about this. I'm curious to try the powders, the setting powders. It's great that they've included darker shades in this for darker skin tones, but I'm probably never gonna get use out of these. Like, I would almost wish that they would break this up into different like kits, like a light one and a dark one, because I definitely am never gonna get use out of this. I might be able to use this one as an eyeshadow, but more than likely I'm never gonna dip into it for that reason. So now it's time for lips. And I'm gonna use this Becca lip liner. It's called the Ultimate Lip Definer in the shade Pouty. Technically, I've used this formula before. I have this other shade in Fearless. I love this one. This is like a warm contour shade. If you're looking for like a warm nude lip, this lip liner is great. So I love the formula, but I'm gonna use this color today. Hopefully this looks good with this. So now I'm gonna go in with this Fenty Slip Shine Sheer Shiny Lipstick in the shade number 6 Retro Rose. Hopefully this goes with this look. What do you guys think of this lip? With the eyes. I can't tell if I like it or not. I feel like it goes kind of well with the matte shade, but then the lid shade is a little more pinky. I haven't used this yet either, so I'm gonna throw a smidge of this on top. It's the Jouer High Pigment Lip Gloss in Rodeo. I'm just gonna dab a couple of dots of this in the center. I think I'm feeling that lip combo. So last but not least is some setting spray. We're gonna use the Ciate London Everyday Vacay. We're matching with the powder today. I also got this in a BoxyCharm. Damn dogs and their little freaking claws clickety clacking all over my floor. Okay. I also got this in a BoxyCharm. So let's test it out. Actually, I'm gonna spray here first. Okay, that's kind of fine. Ooh, smells like coconut. I think this is supposed to be dewy. Am I wrong? I can't remember. I don't think I have the box anymore. That felt really nice though. And it made my highlighter melt into my face nicely. It looks good. So let's do a run through of these products. So first for the primers, I think I liked both of these. I'll have to test them out a couple more times and see. I definitely, as long as this doesn't break me out, I think this is a new fave. For the pore filling primer from The Ordinary, I want to try it out a couple of times and see how I feel. I'm a little more picky about those. So for the foundation, I don't really know how I feel. I feel like most of my face looks nice, but I don't love how this is sitting on my chin and around my mouth. And it's even a little cracked around my nose, which kind of happens a lot. So I don't know if I can judge it on that, but it's definitely looking dry. So for the e.l.f. concealer, I think my under eyes look pretty good. They look a little bit dry, but not too bad, to be honest. I do prefer a more hydrating concealer, and I just don't, this is satin, so this probably won't be a favorite, but it looks okay. So for the eyeshadow palette, I love this. I did have a little bit of issue with blending the matte shades, but once I got in there and blended for a little bit, they look fine. It just took a little bit more effort than I typically would like, especially for this palette being so much money. But again, I bought this palette for like these special shades, not the mattes. So I'm happy with this. I also did not pay full price for this, so that's part of the reason why I purchased it. You don't need this, like, by any means. I just have a lot of makeup, and for me, this is something special. So I enjoyed using it today. I think it looks nice. So for the brow products, I did enjoy the pencil. I would like to use this with the brow gel that I typically like and see how I feel. I am not into this. This is way too big of an applicator. Like, this is like a mascara wand. I don't even, it's so big. Like, I don't understand how this could work for hardly anybody. Too messy for me. And that sucks because that formula could have been really, well, no, it wasn't. My brows are falling already. I can see it. So love that for me. For mascara, I enjoyed both of these. Super excited. I hope this is a new favorite combo for me. It would be a really expensive favorite combo. Even if I like more expensive mascaras, I don't typically go out and buy them on a regular basis because I can get good stuff at the drugstore that's cheap. So I may love these, and if they're ever on sale, I may purchase them, but if not, then I'm just as happy picking up my L'Oreal Lash Paradise or, you know, something to that effect. Next is blush, bronzer, highlighter. I did thoroughly enjoy this Patrick Ta blush duo. I really did enjoy this. When I first applied this cream, I was a little unsure, but now I think you can tell that the powders have, or the powder and the cream have both kind of sunken into my skin a little bit, and they don't look as dark. I'm curious to try this how Patrick Ta likes to use it, where you put the powder down first and then put the cream blush on top. So I'll try that next time, maybe with the peach shade that I have. For the bronzer, the two bronzers from Wonder Beauty, I did enjoy these, but they're not my favorite, which I intentionally purchased these to travel with because they're duos, and I would like to try to minimize the amount of makeup that I take with me when I travel, because I typically take way too much stuff. Like, it's totally unnecessary, but that's just who I am as a person. I always take way too much stuff, makeup or not, and I take too many clothes, I take too many shoes. It's just a bad habit that I've been working on my entire life. But I do like these. I don't know if they're a favorite. I'll have to use them more to decide that, but I don't think these are going to be travel companions for me like I thought that they were. This lighter shade might do better for me when I am more pale, so we'll see. So for the Too Faced Coco Contour Kit, I don't know that I noticed much of a difference in my cheeks when I use this. It smells nice. I got this in a BoxyCharm, so it's not like I paid full price for it. Would I recommend it? I think there's tons of different contour kits out there, and honestly, I would actually rather recommend something to you that has just your shades in it, that doesn't have all of these shades in it. I feel like I have so many contour kits that have all these darker shades in it, and it's not something I'll ever use. And then people with deeper skin tones are never going to use the lighter shades, so it's just not 100% ideal, right? Marc Jacobs came out with a duo a long time ago. It was before their bronzers came out, and it was same pan as their bronzer, but I think Wet n Wild has a duo like this, but this is like the most ideal thing to me, right? Like, you get your contour shade and your highlight shade, and this is for your skin tone, and this is all you need, and it's huge pans. I feel like this is more ideal for, especially an everyday person, unless you're a super makeup lover or you're a makeup artist. Then a makeup artist, this would come in pretty handy for, but I don't know. This is just something more ideal to me. Again, I think that Wet n Wild has a duo like this, but I don't think Marc Jacobs or Wet n Wild have like super dark shades for deep skin tones. I think they have stuff for medium skin tones, but not deep. And obviously most cosmetics companies need to work on that, and it's super unfortunate. So for highlighter, I actually really enjoy this. I think it looks nice. All three of these shades will work for me. I think they look kind of dark in the pan, but I've swatched them and I think they look nice. So I definitely will be using this more. I didn't like it as much until I set my face with setting spray, and I think that it looks so much better, like melted into the skin a little bit more. I'm excited to try these blushes as well. Super cool shades, unique shades. This is orange, but it's almost pumpkin-y orange, and I'm kind of obsessed. And then this is a gorgeous plum shade. And then this is like it's a bright pink, but it's not like hot pink. So I'm excited to keep testing this out. There's a lot of BoxyCharm products in this video today. I get a lot of stuff from them and I don't always end up trying it, so this is kind of forcing me to try some stuff, and I like it. I liked a lot of the stuff too. So for the lips, I enjoyed all three of these products. I feel like my lip combo today is really nice. I don't know if it's 100% what I would typically pair with the eye look that I have on today, but it is what it is. I know that I enjoyed this formula, so that's nice. This felt thicker than what I would have thought, but I think it's because of this lip liner. So I'm curious to test out these Fenty Sheer Shine lipsticks with nothing else, like with just it on my lips. As for this Jouer gloss, I did like it. I enjoy it. I do enjoy all types of gloss formulas, whether it's sheer or semi-pigmented or super pigmented. I enjoy them all, so you can't really go wrong for me unless it like separates weird on the lips or it settles into your lip lines. I don't love that. The setting spray, I did enjoy the way this feels. I hope that this doesn't break me out. I'm curious to keep trying this more. And last but not least, the brushes that I tried out today. I'm in love, honestly. Can you hear the dogs? Just running around, barking. It is like 5 p.m. and I'm still finishing my coffee. It is espresso though, so hopefully it doesn't keep me up all night. So these are all of the brushes that I tested out today from Mykitco, and I enjoyed all of them thoroughly. I'm so excited for these. Like, this may be one of my favorite things from today's video that I'm excited about. I love brushes so much. I have way too many of them, but these are super good quality. I can tell just by holding them and feeling them, they're super good quality. So I'm very excited about these. All right, y'all, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this type of video where I'm trying out new products with you guys, then let me know in the comments down below. If you have any video requests, you can also leave those there. Please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Thanks so much for being here. Bye. Hi, baby. What's up? I know. Hey, don't lick my armpits. That's weird. What? Do you want to go outside? You want to go outside? Hold, please. Oh, you want to go too, little bit?